Here we are.
Oh,
You're
nice.
not wrong.
So Leku, you're currently outside the Holiday Inn, over by the pool, where you can see Keith/Yertle is sort of out there, sort of busying himself growing these flowers.
What? No, I went into the city with Alezia and then we parted separate
That's
ways.
right. So never mind. So
Yep.
Keith is gone, following after Alezia, who said she was going to go take Freak to the orphanage. What would you like to do?
Lucky's gonna walk around town a bit and have a look
All right.
around.
So like you just kind of wander off into town.
Get the layout of the city or town, whatever it is.
Julian and Dante, you're both still in the Holiday Inn, sort of in the little bar area. What would the two of you like to do?
We're high-fiving, clearly.
Yeah, we were clearly slapping hams.
That's a handhold right there. That's a hand hug.
What? No, you don't see the little
Yeah, it's
wavy
a,
lines?
yeah, it's a freeze frame.
All right, I see the impact. Never mind.
Impact font.
Impact.
Deleted. The
Beam.
high five ends.
It ends. It is concluded. Thus concludes the daily high-five ritual.
Dos concludo.
Now what?
Put my hands behind my head. I'm like, shit. What's the time?
I look at my watch.
It's kind of as you look down at the watch,
It's fucked. It doesn't work.
the hands kind of tick weird,
Oh.
and you know for a fact that's not what time it is.
Yep.
From your guys' memory, it's somewhere around early afternoon, sort of like 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Michael,
epic.
Yes.
this is gonna be stupid, but keen mind, Lucky knows the time.
Well, that doesn't help us.
I know.
Yeah, I'll message Slime what time it is.
Boo.
Don't you know how many hours it is?
Why
until
didn't you just
dawn
go ahead
again?
and tell us which way north is, you fucking nerd?
Yeah, a little.
Yeah,
if you
remember
ever fucking
this.
ask.
Julian flips him off. Remember that for a month.
Yeah, remember this for a month and check him.
Wow.
Give him a wedgie.
What'd you call him?
A nerd?
I don't know. I think.
You become increasingly more aggressive. Equally.
No, we don't bully him here.
I mean, hey.
That's
it's
back
not
at the
time.
You only bully him when he's not around.
Yeah, we only bully him when he's not around, which is arguably worse.
Well, it can't explode on us then.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know why, but just as you're walking around, your feelings just... You feel like your feelings are hurt. You don't know why or how, but you start feeling just a little bit worse. And you feel like it's someone's fault.
I feel betrayed.
This is beauty. That's right, baby's my camera. Forgot about that.
Well,
Also, thank you for the time, Michael.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
I guess.
well,
Everyone
DK.
got what you
Oh
want.
my god, Julian just realizes something. I could
Oh.
call you DK.
Oh no! Don't do that.
DK, wanna go?
Okay.
Wanna go check out this orphanage place?
I mean, like, if it would make you feel better, pal.
It would.
Personally, I really, actually do not care.
Well, I mean, like, we can't just toss him in the street. Well, I mean, we can, but I
Well-
don't want to. Plus, who knows? There could be, like, weird zombies around, you know? You get to shoot them.
I mean, I'm assuming it's. Wait, did he say whether or not it was in the town or outside?
It's in the town.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's in the town.
Well, then there's probably not zombies.
Oh, yeah, but the place is fucking weird, man.
I mean, if it turns out to be a situation where it's like a hag or whatever, like it was at the
Exactly, that place seemed fine until it wasn't.
until it wasn't.
So I'm kind of just assuming the worst with everywhere we go at this point.
I mean, I already am right now. Not specifically with this establishment, but the town.
Well, I'm gonna go ask where it is.
Gale, you are also currently overhearing all of this from below as you're currently standing on this balcony.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to do?
I mean, not particularly, but he supposes that he might as well. No, he'll just stick here and just stand here for a bit longer.
Oh yeah, you sort of lean out over the balcony, kind of taking a look, a little peek-see. You can see below as Julian kind of walks over up to the bar again.
This perspective shit, Michael, oh man. It's pretty damn good.
It's pretty cool.
It's always good.
So you walk back up to Danica, who is she's currently taking a couple empty glasses from the bar. She's kind of restacking them over in places after cleaning them. And she kind of turns to see you again, kind of raising her eyebrows.
Which way is the orphanage? Yeah, I got a map.
She sadly shakes her head. She says, "Oh, you're looking to go down south of town, by the square."
Oh. Alright.
Well, he says where the church is, but they'll tell you where to go.
The churches? There's a church down? Oh yeah, the church was having issues as well, wasn't it?
Oh, they're not having service.
Some weird going on there?
Wait, the priest said something about it. I forget myself, but there's something always going on with Velocki, but the church owns the orphanage. It's like an association kind of thing. They're both called the same thing. But St. Andrew's orphanage is off on the west side of town. But it'd be easy if they just told you where to go.
Okay.
And she kind of like puts a hand over yours, like on the bar, to kind of stop you from moving, and she says,
"Say, watch it. That's the only one I got left." And they laugh.
She looks like a little like she's might have offended you or something, but she also kind of nervously laughs as you say that. But she says, "Oh, if you go to the town square, don't get in no trouble. You hear me?"
What's going on in the town square?
She looks kind of at a loss of what to say. And she says, "Just keep your head down, all right?"
I give her a look that says, "I'm definitely not, but thank you for warning me."
She looks a little bit uncomfortable that she might not have persuaded you to do so. And she says, "What's going on in this town?" You're only here for a bit, right?
It depends.
Or either way, you're a... I know what you told me, but you're still a boy. And I ain't no business of yours what's going on, alright?
Fine. I'll try to keep out of everyone's business.
She kind of like sadly smiles, kind of gives your hand a little tap and a squeeze. And she kind of lets go and goes back to her business behind the bar.
Smile.
Later on,
Strut
your
back.
hand just
I'm like, hey Dante, let's get into everyone's business.
Sounds good.
Some weird's going
I'm
down
in.
at the
You
city
had me
center.
at Let's.
I'm gonna send a quick text. Does text messaging work here?
Yeah,
Nope.
do we...
I can't text Miriam or Gail or anything.
Mm-mm.
No Wi-Fi?
Julian, when you're over by the bar, you would have seen the Gales on the balcony above.
I'd walk back and stand on the
Looking
chair to
bad.
get up a bit closer. I'm like, hey Gail, tell them that we're gonna scope out the city center. But you're not here right now, so Hans.
Hans flutters down. What is your bidding?
Oh,
Hans, you tell them that we're meeting outside. Oh well, Dante and I are.
If you have the animal messenger spell, I believe it does something like that. Also, you could take like a scrap of notebook paper, kind of write down like going to see city or whatever.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Anyone upstairs in particular want to send it to?
Miriam. Tell
All right.
Dante and I
Hans knows who Miriam is,
sketching out the
so
place.
Hans just flutters right up.
there he goes.
If they want to join us, they can. If
bird.
they want to chill out, they can. But that's what me and the D-Man are doing.
Ah. Who dat?
Who this is?
Might have been a Jeff.
Might have been... No, Jeff's still here.
No. Oh, we lost rhythm.
We lost
Oh.
the rhythm, okay.
We lost the
rhythm.
rain. His nickname's Rain Man.
Rain Man, savior of the rain.
Rain Man. There's no need to feel down.
But yeah, the two of you make your way towards the door. And you head outside.
Outside.
Woo, outside.
There we are.
Oh yeah, we're outside.
Woo!
Bum-dum-dum.
Outside.
Crawl over to the bush and like, yo, it's not here anymore.
Yeah,
And
looking
the
around, you don't
flowers
see
that-
anyone. You know Gail's back inside, but you don't see anyone else out here when you thought that everyone was outside currently.
Yale's pulled a quick one on you.
Alright, well, let's head to the city center. You got
Well, he
you
told
got magic on you
told
still,
me-
Dante? You were good. You got spell
Magic?
slots. Yeah, you got any
Yeah,
slots?
I've got my full artillery.
You're full. Damn.
I'm pretty sure.
He's that short rest boy.
You are the short rest boy.
Yeah, I've got full artillery.
All right,
I'm,
because
I'm still packing heat.
this is why I'm always packing the heat.
That's why I'm always packing heat. So what I would have done is I would have left because I guess we're not allowed to carry guns.
Oh yeah.
I would have left the mayor's revolver in the room. And I guess the knife, but I can just summon my other gun whenever the fuck I want, so...
So would you just leave everything behind and then just summon your gun?
Yeah, pretty much.
So we'll real quick, we'll go through that. I would really wish Jeff was here. This is the worst time for him to be gone.
Yale still has his sword with him. He never put that down. Shit.
But Dante, if you scroll down, you're back up. You have to kind of go up through the rain to get up to the upper side of where the balcony looks over the lower bit of the bar. You kind of walk past Gale.
It's all dark.
How
can I see
Zach,
the
that
bathroom?
And looking into both rooms, you can see that both doors are open.
Okay.
And you can hear voices. Looking in one, you can see that Arena and Miriam are kind of sitting over the baby. As Hans flutters onto Miriam's shoulder, kind of pecks at her. She kind of takes this little bit of notebook paper. You saw Julian write, starts reading it. And you can hear the sounds of Marcus and Elliot kind of talking in hushed voices.
I'll, position.
Do you want to walk into the room or do you want to eavesdrop?
I will listen.
Let me see.
Go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Let me see. The fake Hans.
Alright.
There we go. That's a good shot.
Sure.
Dante, you can faintly hear what sounds like Jace sleeping inside the room. And you hear Marcus, his voice kind of come through the wall very clearly as the door's open, as you're just kind of like in the frame of it, just off to the side. And Marcus is saying, I know that they're children, and I know that you're also a student, but I need you to really step up here. I don't know how long I'll be gone, but while I am, I'm hoping you will take care of everyone, especially Irina. Make sure she stays safe. And you hear just like some soft grunts from Elliot, and you imagine a lot of nodding, disinterested nodding. And you hear Marcus kind of sigh out of his nose. And he says, I'm taking one of the vans. I hope to be back to help putting the children into the orphanage. I take them with me, but there's nowhere for them to go back in Barovia Village. Just keep them at the inn for now. I'll pay you back for any hotel costs, but just look out for them, please. I'm counting on you. And you hear like a little pat on cloth. You imagine as Marcus patting Elliot's shoulder,
Or
and then Dante, you
sack
hear
tapped him.
footsteps as
Damn.
Marcus starts making his way towards the door.
Okay. And then I'll make it look like I'm just walking in.
Go ahead and make another stealth or a deception check.
We're gonna go with deception. Cool.
Gonna regret that.
I mean, it's not like a big deal if he, like, is like, hey, what the fuck are you doing?
He kind of steps up, sees you just kind of cut around, like with your hands in your pockets, like just wheeling around to come in. He kind of looks over at the side of the door. He kind of sighs a little. Kind of looks at you and he says, Dante, I'll be back soon. I don't know how much you heard, but I'm taking off for Barovia Village.
Okay. What you doing
Hello.
there?
He says, we did what we had to, and the way you all performed under pressure is commendable, but I'm uncomfortable with how things played out.
Which
I think it
part?
would,
The part where we killed the mayor or the diner?
he looks like he wants to say both, but he says, Barovia Village means a lot to me. It's where we grew up.
Mm.
My father ran the place. He was the mayor. There's a lot of expectations there. There's people there that... Mayor Brooks was what he was, but he was in charge there. I don't want to leave the place to just be chaos. I need to go back. And Irina is safe here. I'll be gone for a couple of days, maybe a week at most. I'll be right back, but I need to check in there and see how things are going. We do have a phone at the Koyana estate. I don't know if they have a landline here at the hotel, but if they do, I can try to call within the day. And you see that at this point, Elliot has kind of de-interested himself in the conversation, and he's kind of waltzed over to the table, and he's peeking in the mini fridge.
Oh, nice.
And Marcus kind of brings himself in a little bit closer to you, Dante, and kind of putting a hand on your shoulder, like a big firm pat on the shoulder. He says, "Please keep an eye on Irina, all right?"
I'll do my best.
He kind of gives like a kind of a weak smile. Kind of walks past you, stops, kind of turns around and says, just tell her I'll be back soon. And then he kind of goes to walk off.
All right.
So if you walk into the room, you see that Elliot's kind of fishing around in the mini fridge. Hans is kind of perched up on one of the wardrobes, and Jace is currently sound asleep in the bed that's been tilted to the side. I don't believe you ever claimed one of these beds.
Nope.
But they've each got sort of like a little wooden trunk at the foot.
Well, oh my. I'm assuming that besides Jace, no one else has really claimed one anyways.
You do see that a couple of Gale's affects have kind of been tossed by this little hammock here.
Well, that's to be expected.
And you saw Elliot laying on this bed, but nothing else has really progressed.
That one.
All right, so you sort of kind of unbuckle the crossed belts with the holsters on them, kind of slide the holsters off, place them on the bed, take out the knife, plop it down. Anything else you want to leave here?
I think that's all my weapons.
Julian.
Yep.
Kind of waiting for Dante at the edge of the hotel, of the Holiday Inn, kind of by the pool. Marcus walks by. Just kind of out in the rain, out towards, as if going towards the street where you guys parked the vehicles. And he kind of sees you standing there in the rain and kind of gives you like something of a quizzical look, but just like a little nod as he goes to move past.
Give him a wave.
Kind of gives like a soft smile, kind of raises a hand in like a little nervous wave, and he moves past. You see he pulls out a ring of keys as he moves up to the Darling Deer's van, and he slides into the driver's seat.
Need to whisper to him. No witnesses.
And you watch as he kind of pulls out, kind of reorients himself, and then he drives off past you into town. And then a couple minutes later, Dante walks back outside.
It's time to hit the town.
Yeah, anyone coming with, or are they all holding the fort?
Did anyone, like, follow me?
You turn behind you, nobody there.
Nope, guess not.
Alright. Marcus, say where he was going, he just walked past and took the car.
Yeah, he's going back.
Like back street back, or...?
Like, back to where we came from.
The school? Or Barovia?
Barovia.
Oh. Oh, fair enough.
I don't know, something about, like, duty, and it's where I grew up. I don't know.
If it was my hometown, I'd probably wanna. After people killed the mayor.
He shot first, okay?
Yeah, I heard him. He said
First,
McClunky.
I shot first.
We all heard
No,
McClunky.
he said McClunky, and then he shot first.
The mayor said McClunky.
Yeah.
And then he died because I shot him.
No,
Oh no.
he shot first.
I suppose we extend the invitation to Gale if he wants to come when he comes back, in case he wants
Yeah,
to...
if Gale wants to have gone, he'll go with you guys.
McClunky.
So how this all played out chronologically in mind. As you guys all make your way through the city streets.
Oh no.
He dead.
He gone.
Dead.
Oh no, he's driving back that way. Oh no. You might find Alezia on the road.
Shouldn't laugh at that.
No, I think it's hilarious.
So, Julian, Dante, and maybe Gale, you make your way out, sort of going down to the south side of town from where the hotel is. And as you come, you can just hear the sound of the door to the Crazy Coffin shop closing with a small little ring of a bell. And then looking down further, you can see Leku walking down the sidewalk, kind of out in the rain, kind of looking around through the streets of the city. Leku, is there anywhere you'd like to go? As you're kind of just making your way through the streets?
Not specifically. Like, it was just using... I'm just basically using the Keen Mind feat to, like, basically just go through the town and, like, note where everything is and
Ooh,
what's
yeah.
going on.
The Lockie's got a very weird sort of structure to it. A lot of things are sort of spaced in between large swaths of like residential areas. So like key bits of the city are kind of like broken up all throughout the city. But a lot of things seem to be kind of tailored in this main little square here around the sort of McDonald's, sort of by the main bit of the gate. It's definitely the biggest place you've seen in Barovia, and it's definitely the biggest city you've ever seen. But it's not the most massive place in the world. Maybe about like 1,000 people live here.
Okay.
And as you're kind of walking around, you kind of turn back and you see Julian and Dante kind of making their way into the streets through the rain, with a sort of Schrodinger's cat, Gale, both there and not there simultaneously.
Fair enough. I give them a small wave.
A wave. Should we tell him what we're doing? Never mind, Dante's mute. I'm gonna go tell him what I'm doing. I run up to the...
So yeah, Julian, you kind of...
look both ways. Any cars coming?
Yeah, you look
Okay.
both ways.
And beat feet.
Slime, like you turn around and you see Julian kind of making his way towards you through the rain.
Firstly, we should buy umbrellas, because holy crap, it's always raining.
It's always raining.
It's always
It's coming
raining.
down pretty hard.
I'm getting used to it at this point, sadly.
I mean, I got a poncho, so I forgot I had that. We're heading to the city square, and then the church, and then the orphanage, because the church owns the orphanage.
Oh, okay.
You wanna come with?
Did I walk past those places, Michael?
If you've just been sort of striding around, you haven't had like the biggest opportunity to get around as they've kind of caught up to you. But as you kind of look around, you can see the church is just sort of off to the bottom right, to the southeast of the town. And you see that the town square is across the street from it.
Okay, well, I can join you if you're willing to partake another.
It's a weird way to phrase it, but sure.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a bit caught up in my own head.
With a place like this, I expect nothing less.
So the three of you all kind of meet up in town. Looking up, you see that the sign for the McDonald's has this bit below it where it says McDonald's, basically Velaki Market. And then down beneath is sort of a stack of signs, very, very small text that read Dick's Sporting Goods, Macy's, and Starbucks.
We should probably get some new clothes.
I'm...
Agree.
Maybe later though.
And you can see a little bit past that, there is a hot dog stand. There is a place called Blinsky Toys, and then there's the town square and the church.
As for clothes, I don't currently have any money, so
No, we got money. Got like $30.
I'm back. What I missed? Sorry.
everything.
Real quick, Jeff.
Yeah.
Dante and Julian went into the city, and they invited you to join them if you'd like.
Yes. He
All
would have
right.
just jumped from the ledge instead of falling, because he can do that.
All right, so Gail, you were there as well.
Why
it's a
are
little
the
bit
why
before
are
you.
they giving up Ernest?
What?
Ernest.
Ernest?
All I
What,
heard
you
was
guys don't-
mumbling of a sentence and then Ernest.
I was in the middle of saying something and then I just saw Ernest.
Who the fuck is Ernest?
But you guys don't see him.
I
He's the
ask
hot
you to
dog man.
point. The hot dog man is. How do you know his name, Gail?
Because it says Ernest Lenlen.
That was out of character. Like I saw him. It's like just Ernest. Like I was in the middle of asking why why there were seemed to be dug up graves there out of character, and then I just see Ernest and everything else just went blank.
I bet I haven't pre-dug. Might as well.
There.
We're heading to the town square.
Cool.
All right, and the four make your way down to the street.
After you all.
Is the place with the car? I assume the mechanics.
Yeah, off to the right, you guys see McKinley Auto Repair, where you see the big musical note van. Actually, Julian, go make me a perception check, because you got those elfy perceptions.
No, don't.
Oh, no, you ain't got shit.
Not today.
So you just walk on, kind of like not being able to see too well through the rain. So Alezia,
Oh no.
Oh, was I supposed to respond? I thought you were
yeah,
gonna
no,
keep
no, no,
going.
you're good. You are currently out, well out of the town sort of limits, way out past the walls. Sort of laying on the ground, kind of clutching your leg in pain. As you're kind of like hold your gun, like kind of limply at your side. Beneath you is the body of Freak, just peppered full of bullets. And Tearful is kind of like moving around your legs, kind of whimpering as he sees you're injured, and you're just kind of like struggling to try to get to your feet, but the pain in your leg is just like you can't move the lower half of your leg as it just kind of hangs limply off to one side as like the blood kind of pools beneath you and Freak. Go and roll a perception check for me.
Come on, Roll20, don't stop flagging.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling.
Oh,
It still had guidance on from I don't know when, so it's a 9.
So Lizzie, what would you like to do? You don't notice anything.
Just grab Freak and at least drive out, and at least like try and drag him out onto the road and hope either a car hits her or stops her for her.
Go make a strength check with disadvantage.
Oh,
As you kind of lean over, in your leg, you hear like a snapping sound, and you kind of tense up as you wince. and you sort of bring yourself over and you grab Freak, kind of just by sort of the underbits of his sleeves, and start trying to drag him, kicking with your one foot. As you're kind of dragging with your arms, and your other foot is just completely out of commission. And Tearful kind of comes around to the side and starts. He bites and sinks his fangs into Freak's shoulder, and starts helping you pull. But as you're just kicking with this foot, you can't propel enough force to move yourself and Freak at the same time.
Can she at least like pull him onto her lap and like kind of curl up around him?
Yeah. As you're kind of pulling at him, you kind of just like all of a sudden just kind of sag in frustration. You kind of sink down into like a puddle in the grass that's forming with the rain. As Freak's limpest body just kind of like lays there on the ground. And you kind of hold it and you bring it up to you, kind of pressing your face against him as you're going to just hold him limply in your lap. And Tearful kind of lets go as you do. And again, kind of whimpering, kind of looks down between you and Freak. Go make a perception check again for me.
Come on, bro. What's up with this? What are you doing?
I don't have any modifier.
As you're just kind of sitting there holding Freak, it isn't until you hear the sound of a car door that you kind of look over and you see who else but Marcus walking over towards you with this look of absolute shock and horror on his face.
Oh, she's gonna bring her gun up and point it at him. Still holding Freak with like one arm.
He kind of throws his hands up in the air, and he says, "Alezia, calm down. Just tell me what happened." And he kind of still holding his hands up in like surrendering motion. He kind of moves closer, kind of looking between you and Freak.
When he takes a step closer, Alezia pulls the trigger, but the gun is still completely empty from her just firing every shot. So
like pointed directly at him?
Yeah, so there's just like a loud, disappointing click.
He kind of winces, kind of like half turning away, and as he sees the gun's empty, he looks with like this baffled, like very, very hurt expression. But as he sees the gun is unloaded, he kind of like makes his way forward. Tearful kind of like moving back kind of defensively, kind of like just glaring at him with these little robot eyes as he comes over and says, "Alezia, what the hell happened?" Looking down at Freak, who's got the one bullet completely blown out a hole in his cheek, and then the multiple bullet holes all over his backside. His blood just kind of seeps out onto the grass. Then he looks between you and the bullet holes and then your empty gun. And then he kind of looks down at you and he says, "Please tell me. Please tell me something happened. Alezia." And he kind of just looks at you.
Alezia is just staring at him with like just these dead eyes. Like doing that whole quiet crying thing where you got like the tears but there's no like audible noise.
He looks at you with this face of just pure pity. And he looks down at your leg and he kind of winces again, kind of seeing it for the first time as you were holding Freak above it. And he looks at you, and he says, "Here." And he kind of goes to reach down for Freak. And kind of like as he kind of bends down,
There is Alezia. Alezia puts her hand to stop him, but it just bursts into a claw.
he takes a hop step back as you kind of flex this claw that just kind of bursts out, and your eyes kind of flash, still tear stained as they kind of stream down your cheeks as he kind of regards you. And then he kind of looks at you in your eyes and says, "You can't stand." And he very slowly goes to move towards Freak again, but is like ready to back off if you make moves to attack him.
Then just put me down like a dog.
He looks at you like so confused, looks between you and Tearful and Freak. And you see his hand kind of quiver near where his gun is. Then he shakes his head and he reaches down for you.
Come on, old man. Do it. You don't have the balls.
Ignoring you at this point, he sort of slings his right arm under your shoulder and goes to help you up on the shot side. Or no, it was the left. So he goes around. And he goes to sling his arm across your back to help you up, putting your arm over his shoulder.
Okay, this is when Alezia just fully breaks down, like full sobbing, like wailing, crying. Like just clinging to Marcus now.
Yeah, you kind of come up as you kind of bring both arms around. And he kind of lets out like a breath, kind of like awkwardly looking around, like not really sure what to do. Kind of brings another hand up for a little pat. As you just collapse there crying in his arms. And he kind of goes to like help you up. Kind of supporting you. And he kind of looks down at Freak's body, kind of half nods to himself. And then he goes to move you towards what you can now see is the Darling Deer's van parked in the middle of the street. Sort of with the light still piercing out into the fog all around and with the engine still running. And he goes to bring you up towards around to the driver's seat. And he kind of makes moves to put you in the car.
She'll let him, but it's more. It's not more letting him. It's more that she's just not putting up any resistance.
Yeah, entirely. He just kind of sets you down. As Tearful kind of makes his way up behind Marcus, then Marcus goes back, picks up Freak's body. Walks back over. He kind of moves up to you, kind of like ushers you a little to kind of get out of the way of the driver's seat. Kind of like half nudging, half pushing as he kind of just nudges you aside. Then he kind of sits up in the car and kind of moves Freak's body to the back and kind of slings in himself as Tearful kind of comes up, leaps up onto your lap inside the van. And you see, he doesn't say anything, but he's looking between off down the road and then back at Velaki. As if making a decision while he slowly brings his hand down to sort of the shift.
Okay, can Alezia take out her gun and load a single bullet without him noticing?
Make a sleight of hand check. As soon as there's the clink of you bringing up the gun, his arm is there and he grabs the gun as you've got the bullet like ready to go in the chamber. He says, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Can she try and pull his hand away?
As you go to resist, he like keeps his hand on. And he says, Alezia, give it to me. Go ahead and make me an athletics check. You have to beat an 11.
Ooh.
He's still trying to like keep it calm as he tells you to give it to him, and you use that and you just snatch it brutally right out of his grasp as you bring it up, and the force of bringing it up out of his hand kind of forces the bullet in, as you kind of bring the gun up. What would you like to do?
She's gonna put the gun like to her forehead.
When you do that, he goes to grab it again. I'll say either make another athletics check, or if you'd like to just pull the trigger, make an attack roll.
No, it's an athletics. She wants to make sure she doesn't miss.
Oh.
He lunges forward, grabbing the gun with both hands, and he rips it out of your grasp. And he holds it up in his offhand, like leaning towards the door, as if to like throw it out the window. And he just kind of looks at you. And he says, Alezia, And you see he's kind of at a loss for words. And kind of just like a beat of silence where he just looks at you holding this gun. And then he looks down at your leg. And he says, you need a hospital. The hospital in Barovia has exploded.
What? It's not wrong.
No.
And then he sighs to himself, and putting the gun down off to the left side in the car door sort of pocket, he throws the van in reverse and swings it around to go back to Valaki.
Oh no.
Alezia does absolutely nothing. She just sits there completely lifeless.
And he's going to drive the van back.
Well.
See, as I always say, the dice play out perfectly.
Most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
No, I always feel the dice tell how the story should go. So,
Absolutely. So Keith,
Oh, that's right. Yes.
you're inside Crazy Coffins again, and as this small little ding goes off as you come back in, you see Henry is currently standing at the cash register, and he turns around to see you, and he says, Keith, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Do you have any of the flowers? And he kind of comes around, to kind of stand in the middle of the shop to greet you.
Keith will walk towards him and pull out the 29 flowers and be like, I don't know if they're of the right color or not. That's why I came to ask if these colors they are any good and that. And I have some other matters I need to discuss in a bit more of a private spot.
Well, the colors are fine, but they need arrangement. Let me see. And he kind of moves over to one of these big crates. Sort of lifts one up, moves it aside, and then kind of makes his way over to a far one, kind of opens it, and he takes out 2 wicker baskets. And kind of making his way around you, kind of sets them down. He starts grabbing the flowers from you, kind of arranging them very neatly in these sort of little containers. What was you needed to discuss, Keith? He says, while still currently like on one knee, sort of fitting these flowers into this basket, like a neat little arrangement, kind of mixing all these different colors together as he does so.
Something about a card I had read to me a day or two ago. You deal with boxes that you call coffins, and I know that a crypt is somewhere that normally has coffins or something, and I have to find the mother's crypt or tomb or something. Whatever that means.
You had to find a tomb?
Like a coffin, something like that. So I was wondering.
I'm afraid I'm the only coffin store in Valaki. I think all in Barovia. Great product at a great price.
That's why I came to ask you about.
A lot of people get buried over at St. Andrew's, the church. It's where most of our products are on display, but there's no tombs there. We haven't done a mausoleum in years.
Can I try and cite him to see if he knows what Yodel means or if he's just actually confused?
Make an insight check.
Clicked, but I don't know if that went off. Oh, give
I don't
it a
see
moment.
it.
Yeah, I don't see it either. Clicked again. There we
Oh,
go. Oh, I accidentally whispered it too. It's 15.
It still counts. You gotta, or whatever. That's still a whisper.
Yeah, I double clicked it before.
We'll go with the first one.
Yeah, we'll
19.
Yeah,
You think he gets what you're saying by like crypt?
I don't even remember my own card properly. All I remember is like Mother's Drift or some shit.
Very epic.
Yeah, that's what you recall, and he doesn't seem to know anything about it. If someone's looking for a tomb for their mother, they should definitely come to Crazy Coffins. But,
Never mind.
no, I don't know what you're talking about. But as far as your coffin goes, I've done a bit of restyling on the wood to sort of accommodate your form, but, this is not nearly enough flowers, and he kind of points down to the now arranged baskets, kind of standing up as he does so. He says, "We'd need 10 times as much as this."
I thought you were going to say something. I was just trying to make sure it's the right colors, you know?
Yes, colors are no issue. There are all sorts of colors liked at a funeral. I wouldn't sell them all at once as well, so diversity is much appreciated.
That's good to know.
But this is a lot for just earlier this day. Keep up this pace, and I hope we can work something out. Yes?
Yes.
Good.
Uh,
Good.
When I first came in, you seemed so, like, when I originally came in, before we came up with this deal, you seemed so dead inside. What's giving you this spark of life?
I wouldn't say dead inside. I'm excited that someone's purchasing one of my products. And he kind of smiles looking at you.
But you said you were like one of the only coffin shops in Valaki, in Barovia.
He says,
Having a monopoly on this craft, would that not provide a beneficial
Who knows what a
source of-
monopoly is?
He doesn't.
capitalist.
He took a
saw
business class in Springfield.
he saw the board game and saw people playing it at school, and he thinks he knows what it
Yeah, I'm
means.
sure we played Magic Monopoly at some point. That
he
seems like
says,
something-
He just thinks
Magopoly.
he
Magic.
just thinks it is owning a business.
Magopoly?
He doesn't
Um,
actually know what it means.
Henry says, well, people in Barovia nowadays have no respect for tradition and decency. Some people just dig a hole and throw them in. There's no respect for, their well-being, for the ceremony. I guess death's just too common now. It's not worth dropping a couple dollars on a box.
Maybe they just don't remember the old right. Someone ought to teach the young the rights for the dead to be able to pass it on. Without those teaching, of course they're gonna forget.
He kind of nods. He says, the sooner we start Sunday service, the better this town off will be. No respect for tradition, no respect for ceremony. And he kind of just starts muttering to himself as he kind of walks around you. And he says, but we should have those flowers by next week. You hear me?
I'll try. I'll either succeed in doing it, be a little short, or be dead trying. And that's the Keith guarantee.
He kind of looks like a little nervous, but lets out a little nervous laugh and says, yes, wonderful.
Yeah, how about... I don't remember what they said at the checkpoint about casting magic so willy-nilly, so I was thinking, could you provide a safe haven as I try cast a big spell?
Casting magic, I don't know. I'd advise doing something like that somewhere else.
Well, there is nowhere else I can do it, and I wish to not get in trouble as I obtain so many flowers for you. So, I was thinking if you could help me get somewhere, like, private. Like, the back part of your store, if no one will hear me.
Make your persuasion check disadvantage.
I just want to call that rough guy.
Ooh. He shakes his head and he says, I'm sorry, Keith. I'm excited about our deal, but that's a lot to be asking, and I think it'd be better if you did it somewhere else. And
Yeah,
if that's all, then I think that we're done for today.
Yeah. I'll be back with some more flowers. I'll probably try to drop them off like 50 a bunch, if I can.
Thank you. Yes. Have a good day.
Catch you for now. And then, who the fuck gave the door so much fucking hell? For now. Yertle will, once he gets to the door, will say in Druidic, just to see if this man is being a cheeky son, will say, and have a wonderful night.
He looks baffled as you kind of say this gibberish to him. But you head out back into the city.
Yeah. I'm going to find the most exclusive spot to then try and cast the 8-hour length druid craft. No, I think the normal cast might.
Fuck.
It's not Druidcraft, plant growth. Basically, Druidcraft, but on steroids.
Big Druidcraft.
It is the big. Yes. Just need to check which one will actually let me get the flowers in time.
So we're back to our 4 other boys. As you make your way into the streets of Vallaki.